Welcome to the first video of the motion series. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the concept of rest and motion, the various types of motion that occurs, and the motion of a simple pendulum. So, without any further delay, let's solve this guide. In our day-to-day life, we always see various objects moving. For example, we walk from one place to another. A bus travels from one stoppage to another. A train travels from one station to another station. So these all are various examples of motion or movement. But what causes that motion? To understand that into details, first we need to know what is a rest position all about. Rest. A body is said to be at rest when it does not change its position with respect to its surroundings. Now, what do we mean by this particular definition? Now, this particular pen, if I'm holding it in my hand, it will stay exactly like this unless and until I move my hand by myself. So, staying at rest means this pen is not changing its position with respect to its surroundings. Say, for example, the whiteboard, me, these walls, the surroundings is not changing. See, say for example, the furnitures in your house, they stay at the same position with respect to all their immediate surroundings unless and until you go ahead and move them from their own place. So this is what rest is. These are the examples of rest. So what would be motion? Motion is exactly the opposite. So in order to write the definition of motion, we will write a body is said to be in motion when it changes its position with respect to its surroundings. That is, when it is acting exactly opposite when it is at rest. So what will be the examples of a body in motion? A bus, when it starts, it is at a particular place. But when it moves, it goes from one stoppage to another till the time it reaches its destination. So the surroundings of the bus, that is the outside road, the outside places, the landmark, is constantly changing. So that is what a body is said to be when it is in motion. Now, the next question that arises is it possible for a body to experience both rest and motion at the same time? The answer is yes. How? I will explain it to you. Say for example, you are traveling to a place by a train. Alright. Now the train is moving. You can see at the outside the trees, the electric poles, the people. Everybody is at rest and you are moving along with the train. Now, for the people who are sitting with you inside the train, you are at the position of rest because for them, your position and their position are same and it's not changing with respect to its surroundings. The surroundings are exactly the same. But for the people who are outside the train, say for example people waiting at the station or by the side of the road where the train is moving through, for those people you will be in motion because they are at a place and you're moving away from them. So your surroundings are changing with respect to their surrounding. Your position is changing with respect to their surroundings. So you are at motion. So in this case particularly, you will experience both the state of rest and the state of motion. From this example, there comes out a new concept which is known as relative motion. What is relative motion? Relative motion is the motion of one object compared with respect to the motion of another object. Now what is that? Just now I have explained the example of a train. In a train where you are traveling, through which you are traveling, you are in motion with for the people who are outside the train, either sitting on the station or walking along the road. But you are at rest for those people who are sitting inside the train with you. These are completely two different types of observations. Here, the people who are outside, they are at a particular speed or velocity which is way less than the speed of the train. So there are two different motion. Either it's zero or it's less. Okay, less than the motion of the train. So these two motions, when they are compared, this is called relative motion of one with respect to another. Our next topic is the various types of motion. Now, the motion on various bodies determine the types of motions. What are the different types of motion? The first type is translational motion, which is further divided into two more subtypes, which is rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. The second type is rotational motion, the third is periodic motion, and the fourth is oscillatory motion. Now we are going to explain all the definitions and examples of each and every type of motion. So please don't skip the video, you might miss the important topics. Let's come to the first type of motion, which is translational motion. What is a translational motion? It is the motion where a body moves from one place to another uniformly without changing its velocity much along a straight line or a curved line. It can be along a straight line or along a curved path. For example, a car moving from one place to another without changing its speed along a straight highway or along a curved path like a mountainous road or something like that. It can be called as an example of translational motion. Now this translational motion is further divided into two types. Number one is rectilinear motion and number two is curvilinear motion. So my dear students, so far if this video has been helpful to you, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss on any important topics that we upload. The first type of translational motion is the rectilinear motion. What is the meaning of rectilinear motion? When a body moves along a straight line path, then its motion is called rectilinear motion. A very good example of rectilinear motion will be a bullet which is fired from a gun. When a bullet is fired from a gun, it goes straight, absolute straight, unless and until it gets hit by any object. So that is an example of rectilinear motion. The second type of translational motion is curvilinear motion. What is curvilinear motion? If a body is moving along a curved path, then its motion is called curvilinear motion. Now what is an example? What would be an example of this kind of motion? A car traveling along curved hill roads. If you have traveled to the hills or mountains, you would find that the roads aren't always straight. They are made along the mountain or along the hills in a curved manner. So when a car or a bus or any vehicle travels along those roads, what happens? They cannot follow a straight line. They have to move along those curves, and that kind of motion is known as curvilinear motion. The next type of motion is rotational motion. Before coming into the definition, I will just try to give you a concept of what a rotational motion is. Have you ever noticed the blades of the fan moving round and round like this? They are not moving from one place to another. They are fixed at one particular place at the center of the fan, but their blades are constantly moving in a circular motion, though they are fixed at the center. This kind of motion is called rotatory motion or rotational motion. This is how rotational motion occurs. So let's come to the definition now. What is the definition? When an object turns or spins as in the blades of the fan, about a fixed axis, the center of the fan that is fixed, without changing the radius of its motion. Now this term is very important. Radius of its motion. As we look into the blades of the fan, they are moving in a circular way as well. Along with the rotatory motion, they are also moving in a circular way. And as we know, every circle has its own radius. What is radius? The midpoint of the circle to the end point of the circle. The line that is joining the center point of the circle to any of its peripheral point, that particular line is called the radius of the circle. Now when the blades of the fans are moving round and round, they are not moving away from that particular circle's radius. Okay, so without changing the radius of its motion. Its motion is then called the rotatory motion, or we can call it rotational motion. So what would the examples be? The first example is spinning of Earth on its axis. As we already know, the day and night, every day we experience 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night time. The timings might vary depending upon the climates and other factors, but we get some amount of daylight and some amount of night. This happens due to the rotation of the earth around its own axis. Okay, the sun is here, the earth is here, the earth is rotating along its own axis, which means one part is getting the daylight and the other part is getting the night. This happens once in 24 hours. That means earth takes a time of 24 hours to completely rotate one full circle. Another example, right now I explain it to you, turning of the blades of the fan. So these two are very good examples of rotational motion. The next type of motion is periodic motion. What is a periodic motion? If the motion of an object is repeated along the same path at regular interval of time. The time period is fixed. After that particular time, after that interval of time, the motion is again repeated. Such motion is called the periodic motion. What are the examples? Motion of a simple pendulum, hands of a clock, motion of moon around earth, rotation of earth, revolution of earth. Now, how these all are periodic motion and what is the basic concept of periodic motion? Periodic motion is nothing but the motion of an object getting repeated at regular interval of time. Say for example, the moon revolving around the earth. It takes a fixed amount of time to complete one revolution. Similarly, when the earth revolves around the sun, it also takes a fixed particular time to complete one cycle, which is 365 days and certain hours, right? So all these motions have takes fixed amount of time and gets repeated after that time gets covered up. Okay, so this is the concept of periodic motion, when the motion gets repeated after a regular interval of time. From periodic motion, we come across two very special terms. What are they? First is cycle. What is a cycle? Now, as we have just learned that periodic motion is the motion that gets repeated after a particular interval of time. So, from there, one complete round of that motion, one complete round of the motion is called the cycle, which is getting repeated. That is called a cycle. So, when the object takes a particular time to complete that circle, that time is called the time period of the object. The last type of motion is oscillatory motion. What is an oscillatory motion? An oscillatory motion is a motion where a body moves to and fro in between two extreme positions. If we hang a string at one point and suspend anything solid, say a brick, pebble or a small thing to that string, and then we just move it from one end to other, that is what an oscillatory motion is all about. The motion of a simple pendulum, we have seen the pendulum clocks where the pendulum swings from one end to the other. The motion of a swing, which we all have enjoyed, a swing always moves from one end to other. These are all the examples of oscillatory motion. Now we will talk a little bit about the motion of the pendulum. Why? Because motion of pendulum has been used as an example while we were describing various other types of motions like periodic motion, oscillatory motion, rotatory motion. In all of these types of motion, we have used the motion of a pendulum as an example. So in order to know more about the motion of the pendulum in details, please go ahead and watch our next video. And if you have liked this video and it has been informative to you so far, go ahead and hit the like button.